Lesson 1, Introduction to the Loomis Method. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling something I get asked about all the time. It's intimidating, but honestly, it is so rewarding once it clicks. We are talking about mastering the human head. Grab your sketchbooks, because we're going to unlock a foundational technique that will completely change how you draw. Let's just jump right in. So be honest with me for a second. Have you ever sat down, stared at a blank page, tried to sketch a realistic portrait, and ended up with a face that just looks wrong? You know what I mean? Like maybe the eyes are floating at totally different heights, or the jawline looks kind of like a melting candle, or the whole head just feels super flat and wonky. Believe me, I've been there. We have all been there. It is a completely universal frustration for artists. But I promise you there's a real solution here. You don't need some magical talent, you just need the right system. Enter the Loomis Method. Honestly, think of this as your ultimate artistic cheat code. It's defined as a simple, logical approach to drawing the head. And I really want to emphasize that word, logical. We're basically taking the incredibly complex anatomy of the human face and breaking it down into an approachable, step-by-step system that literally anyone can follow. So how does it actually work? Well, it starts with basic shapes and systematically builds up to a realistic head. Think of it like scaffolding on a construction site, right? Like when you build a house, you'd never start by painting the walls or hanging up curtains before pouring the concrete foundation. That'd be crazy. We're going to construct a solid, unbreakable 3D foundation first, way before we even think about adding the specific details of the face. Okay, let's break down the first 3 foundational phases. We're going to start incredibly simple. Step 1, the sphere. Step 2, the side plane. And step 3, the jaw. I want you to just visualize this in your mind right now. You're just drawing a basic circle for that sphere and then dropping down some straight lines for the jaw. It really is that straightforward. No crazy details yet.
Check out how this process unfolds. We start with a simple 2D circle that represents our 3D sphere. Then, for step 2, imagine taking an invisible knife and just slicing off the side of that circle. That gives us a flat side plane, which is exactly where the ear is going to go. Finally, in step 3, we literally just drop straight angled lines down to block out the jaw. And just like that, with a few quick strokes, we've got the undeniable mass of a human head.
Step 4, guidelines. Once we've got that solid block constructed, we transition into this next crucial phase. This is where we set up the literal framework across the basic 3D shape we just built. Let's actually see that grid in action. Look at how those horizontal red lines trace across the head here. Notice how they aren't just flat, straight lines on a page. They actually curve. They wrap around the 3D form of the head we built in those earlier steps. The brow line crosses exactly where the eyes will sit, the nose line marks the bottom of the nose, and the mouth line drops the lips perfectly between the nose and the chin. The scaffolding is completely locked in. Step 5, the finished head. And honestly, this is my favorite part. This is where the magic happens. All of our discipline, building those basic shapes, carving out the jaw, laying down those strict guidelines, it all finally pays off in a huge way. Just look at that stunning realism on the finished head. But here's the absolute secret I want you to take away from this explainer today. That level of realism, the perfect placement of the eyes, that incredibly structural feeling of the cheekbones and the jaw, none of that happens by accident. No way. It's only possible because of the hidden logical structure underneath. The features are just resting on that foundation we already put the work in to build. Our source sums this up perfectly. And honestly, I want you to treat this quote as your new artistic mantra. We simplify the head into basic forms, understand the structure, place the features using guidelines, and then refine. Memorize that. That one sentence right there, that is the entire progressive journey of the Loomis Method, packed into a single, simple thought. And here we can see the entire workflow brilliantly illustrated from start to finish. Just marvel at that seamless evolution for a second. We go from a simple, humble sphere, advancing step by step through very clear, logical additions, all the way to a beautifully rendered realistic face. Because we took it one part at a time, what looked impossible at first is actually completely achievable. So here's my challenge to you. Are you ready to grab a pencil, draw a basic circle, and try this simple, logical approach right now? Don't worry about the crazy details today. Seriously, just practice building that scaffolding. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep practicing, and I'll catch you in the next one.